Hi, this is Allison Livingston, 5 Steps to Connect with the Resilience Challenge. I am so glad you have decided to join us because this is one of the most meaningful practices, life-saving listening, that I have done for 15 years. And it is the thing that I attribute my awareness, my growth, my happiness, my improved relationship with my daughters, my husband. I am less reactive. I have learned so much about my feelings, what matters, and just how to be less triggered. And so I want to share this with every parent on the planet, and I'm so glad you're here. So I am here with my friend Bridget, who I have done life-saving listening for years with, and we're going to do a demo for you today. So Bridget, why do you prioritize life-saving listening, and why do you do it?
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you. I've been doing this with you, as you said, for years, and there's so many reasons. I think one is a kind of freedom to be my authentic self and to see myself clearly. And there are few spaces in the world where I don't feel judged in some way or another, or seeing deeply, like seeing, looking at like what am I needing, what's important to me, and having that kind of reflection and that kind of care helps me to make better choices in my life and in my relationships, and to see patterns more clearly so that I can I don't know, I've learned to express my honesty in ways that are caring to other people. So I feel yeah, more myself,
Yeah.
in relationships. And I also, in my work, I'm a family therapist, and I find that even for my work and for my other relationships, being able to offer people just a caring, loving presence is really powerful. So yeah, those are a couple of the reasons that I love it.
I totally resonate with what you said because for me, I put on so many masks and I try to be so many things to so many people. And that's an old pattern that comes up. And this work has really helped me shed that armor, as Brene Brown talks about, and just really be more authentic because
Mm,
it's a place where I am seen, heard, and accepted for my whole self, not just the persona or the parts that I like or the parts that I'm
mhm,
proud of.
mhm.
So yeah, I think you really, really captured that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to jump into a demo to show what this is like. And I am just going to give us both 3 um, prompts. And the way this works is you can speak about anything. It's a listener speaker exchange. And one of the prompts is, who listened to you as a child?
Mm,
Another prompt is, what emotion is challenging for you to feel? And then the last one is just a time recently when you were triggered and upset. And it helps for me get more clear, more just kind of process it and pull it apart so that I can figure out what was going on underneath. Because it
mm,
usually happens so quickly. And if I'm triggered, then usually they're triggered. And it's just this big bleh. So it helps
mhm.
helps figure those things out and slow it down.
Mm,
Um, so I'm going to go first, and I'm going to set a timer in the challenge on Saturday and Sunday at 9. We are going to manage the time for you, but I'm going to do just a timer to keep us on schedule here. So let's take 5 deep breaths just to center and kind of ground and drop into that authentic whole self we know is always within us.
mm,
Okay. So I'm going to talk about what emotion was challenging for me growing up. And I think the hardest one is anger.
mm,
Um, my parents didn't didn't really do anger. So I got this unspoken message that anger is not okay, that it's hurtful, that it we'd rather stuff it. and and so when I was young, I would have these anger episodes, and I would rip apart my entire room, and I would be so angry, and my parents would be so calm, and they would just shut me in my room, and they just didn't know how to handle it because it was so uncomfortable for them.
Mm.
And I got these weird messages about how it just was not okay. I guess I was shamed about it,
Mm.
and so it was confusing because I was angry, but I wasn't then supposed to feel it. So then, as I got older, I would just stuff it before it even came up,
Mm.
and then I would I got the whole message that the way I did get attention and love was by being good and getting A's. And so I tried so hard at school and in my sports, and I just tried to be the perfect child.
Mm.
And I, to this day, can barely feel anger. I can barely express it. And and that's been hard in my life, because I think I've learned recently that anger tells me about what matters, what's important to me. So when I kind of cut it off, it's it just stops part of me from feeling. So there's the timer.
Mhm.
So I guess just in closing, I would say this has been hard for me, and I'm glad that I can feel anger more. And there's a whole nother story that we don't have time for, but about when my daughter was born and when she would feel anger and how triggering that was, and just how this life-saving listening saved our life. So, Bridget, I would love any reflection of what you heard, and especially feelings and what I might be needing.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I heard you say that in your family, when you were growing up, anger was an emotion that your parents, and when you expressed it, it was like an unspoken message to not to shove it down, to not express it. And there were times when you would tear your room apart, and I remember you saying that your parents didn't really know what to do or were uncomfortable and would just speak to you calmly and like leave you in your room. And kind of the takeaway that what you learned was there was like a shameful message associated with anger, and as an adult you would like suppress it before it came up. um, and then over, and that was hard for you, and it's challenging for you still to feel it. And this life-saving process, this life-saving
Listeners.
listening, uh, in your relationship with your daughter and with yourself, really supported you in getting in touch with the value or the importance behind the anger and the message behind the anger. Is that right?
Yeah, and that anger is just an emotion. When I can feel the flow of it, it's not bad or good. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
It just is trying to point me towards something that matters. So
Yes, it seems like it sounds like, I wonder if you're feeling some gratitude or relief to have a way of connecting to what's mattering to you now.
yeah, yeah, very much so, because it wasn't working when I repressed it all. Yeah,
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's take some more breaths, and just kind of in transition, and then I'd love to hear from you, and I'll give you the prompts again.
Okay.
So do you know what you'd like to speak about, or would you like me to give you the prompts again?
I think I have one. Thank you.
Okay. So,
Ready?
yeah. What would you
Okay.
like?
So I'm going to talk about the one I was most recently triggered, and it was last night, and I've taken COVID very seriously and been very protective of my bubble, and I was vaccinated weeks ago and have just begun to um, be unmasked around other vaccinated people and hug them. And so last night I was like in close contact with someone, and I had like this total a few freak out moments where I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is crazy. This is so dangerous. What am I doing? And I like my heart rate went up, and I was like super alarmed and like surprised. Like all of a sudden I was like, oh like not good. And then I would like calm myself down again, and then it would happen again. So yeah, that was my most recent trigger. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I heard you say is
Mhm.
that there was you had taken COVID very seriously, and it's very important to you. And that recently you've been vaccinated and you were with someone in close proximity,
Mm.
and that was sounds wonderful, but then you would just get these shock times of just, what am I doing? And is this okay? And isn't this wrong? And that surprised you,
Mhm.
and and that you had to keep sort of reminding yourself that it was okay.
Mhm. Mm.
And
And when it would happen, I'd be like totally disconnected from them. I'd be in my own little world, and it would take me a minute to like be like, oh, okay, I'm okay, I'm safe.
yeah,
Okay, I'm back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear you sort of having your thoughts about it, but then
Mhm.
there was also, you noticed some body sensations.
Yeah.
And then were you feeling scared, or was it more surprise?
Well, both. Yeah, definitely. Scared when I was thinking, oh my, like this is dangerous.
Yeah.
That was a very scary thought.
Because we've had that for a year, that
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Yeah, right.
Stay
And then
6 feet.
like I'm maskless next to someone. Like that's just the visuals of that. Even in my dreams, when I have dreams about people, I'm like, we're not wearing masks. It's really ingrained. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
Mhm.
really an unlearning of something, yeah, and just something that has been dangerous. So
Yeah.
it sounds like you were needing safety and
Yeah, definitely.
maybe reassurance.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that hugs are not like life threatening anymore.
yeah, 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 and maybe trust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is there anything more that wants to be said about that?
I just feel hopeful now. I'm just hopeful thinking about um, being able to go in this direction,
Yeah,
more
yeah,
connection with people.
yeah. I'm noticing in my own self, I'm a little distracted because I hear my dog barking. So I hope that's not disturbing. Just want to name that. Um, well, thank you for doing this demo. I just want to again welcome all the people doing this resilience challenge and learning this amazing skill of life-saving listening. And I look forward to trying it with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, Allison@fivestepstoconnect.com. And again, you can just practice. There's no way to do this wrong. And it's all about just showing up and being seen. So thank you, Bridget. And thank you all.
Bye, everybody.